Remix going. Remix.
You're listening to MC 101 Talk Show. Live. Hosted by two guns. Co-hosted by Big Cell. And we talking straight motorcycle protocol. Tune in every Wednesday around 7 p.m. for pure motherfucking facts on FHO Podcast Radio. MC 101. Where motorcycling is life.
Say, man, we back on, man. I'm getting some static. Hold on. There we go. We back on, man. No, hold on.
Let me pull this damn screen down. I got the screen high.
There we go. Microphone. Hello, testing 1 2.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, let me see. All right, we back. There it is. I got my mic plugged in. We good. So listen, man, let me tell y'all. Let me start off by saying, when you self-taught, when you self-teach yourself all of this stuff, this shit can become a headache. It really can. And that's what the fuck it's been. Hold on. That's what the fuck it's been. Now my headphones is messing up, and these ain't got no business. I done paid too much money for these motherfuckers to even be acting up. But anyway, so we're gonna see what it is. But we on, man. So in the building, two guns, Big Cell, MC 101. We streaming on all platforms tonight. It is what it is. I want to give everybody a mad shout out, man, that's tuning in. Say, hey, what up, Captain Kurt? What up, Brian Thomas? Oakland checking in. I see you.
Hey, I'm coming to Oakland. Oakland.
What it do? Train Rule. Whoever.
Oh, we got Compton. I'm going to Compton.
The real New York in the building. Let me see what we got. The real New York. Who else we got? Dennis Moore. What it do? Train Rule again, my man. Lost One Kern. We got Sam Patrick in the building. Double O Drifters MC in the building. You guys, everybody can hear everybody straight. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear Guns. We good. Philip Alexander in the building. 4 days in the wake up. That's what I'm talking about. Sturgis, baby. It's going down, man. 4 days in the wake up. We out of here, man. Big Sarge, Soul Brothers in the building. Let me tell you something, man. Hey, Guns. Sarge been riding his motorcycle, but he done caught the fever.
I seen. I'm like, oh, okay. He doing the ride.
He feeling himself now, man. So, he done got the bug now, man. NC Linos, what up, Linos? Brian Thompson, I see you. And Big Slim, what it do?
Big Slim, what up, man?
All right, so we're here tonight. So let me say this, man. When we did the show the other day, Guns, to be honest, I was done with the whole Sucka Free MC thing. And of course, I got a lot of calls and, a lot of DMs about, man, y'all didn't give him a chance to speak his mind and what's wrong with him making money off the set and, blah, blah. It's just all kind of weird stuff. Some stuff was good, some stuff was weird. But I want to say this. We didn't bring this out to blast anybody to make it. This is not a personal thing. Guns exposed this thing because he had to, number one, get it out there and get it done, because it's to the point now where it's about to blow up. And that's what he did not want it to happen. So that was the whole purpose of it, was to get the truth out there, to get the understanding out there. And I'm going to do a show on it, but I'm going to briefly talk about it tonight. We're talking about false prophets. And that's the whole thing, was to bring about how it is so easy and how we so are quick to just jump to somebody said they know something about motorcycling. You ain't never seen them on their motorcycle. You don't really know who they is, or because they got the diamond on, you automatically expect for them to know about motorcycling. So that was the whole thing. But I'm gonna turn it over to my man Guns. You listening to MC 101 tonight, man. Hold on, let's get this thing cracking, man.
The Chosen.
Yo, testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
That's how I got that heat. Let's go.
Greg Street in the building. I'm riding with my homie Big Cell. FHO Radio, the podcast with the FHO NIC. Big Cell, Lil Debo, aka the Brown Eminem. Coast to coast. On the mics. Fast Harleys only. Get with it.
All right, so we're gonna let Guns take control and speak his mind on it, speak his piece. Do your thing, take off.
Well, I mean, it's just like we kind of. I'm gonna take you guys back. I'm gonna tell you a story. Like 2008. Now it was 2009. I just got back from Iraq. Like literally, I flew in. My folks was at the place. I got my bike. I got on the road because I wanted to ride down to Florida. So I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna get on the road, stretch my legs out, and just enjoy this ride. So, and it's ironic because I lived in Virginia at the time. I was out of Florida, lived in Virginia because that's where I was stationed at. And I was coming through North Carolina, and I saw this huge event. Like it was at a hotel off the side of the road. So I was like, shit, something going on. So I dipped off, go over there, nothing but motorcycles. Everybody's outside. They're just kind of doing their things. And so this was my introduction too, because I never known motorcycle business being done like this. They was having a party at the hotel, in a conference room at the hotel, and everybody was coming from all over the place. I'm talking Virginia, they had cats in Maryland, they had people coming up from Georgia, everywhere. They was coming to this one event. Now, understand, as a West Coaster and as kind of an old school dude, I never really got involved with a lot of maybe some of the parties. Most of the shit that I went to, that I followed, you know, we was in fields and we was at parks and we would go to clubhouses and we would go to big ass areas and just, you know, tent and camp. And that was biking for me. I didn't know nothing else. So as I was kind of coming back and getting back into riding again, because I did take a break while I was in the service, I was still riding, but I wasn't really affiliated. I wasn't really doing any MC shit. So this was like kind of like, whoa, wow, that's kind of crazy that you guys just throwing a party in a thing. And just understanding the dynamics of it, you know, they was kind of addressing me like, you know, it's easier for us to be able to get everybody together, this and that. And they was charging like $20. And I was just like, $20 to go to this party. He was like, yeah. And it was 200-300 people. So that was the first time that I really got introduced to the dynamics of going to parties and paying to go to parties and stuff like that. Because that was something that was, for me, I'll be honest with you, 2009, it was kind of a shock to me because I wasn't raised like that. That's not how I was raised. So there was some comments that was made about this, and it was made about the elements of what we talked about last week. And when I came back on it, what I tried to address with them is, that's fine if that's what you do. That's just not what I do, and that's not how I was raised. So as me, as somebody that's been in this since the early or mid 80s, and coming into this in the mid 70s, late 70s, into the first part of the 80s, my family just never rocked like that. I learned because I went out and I asked questions. I learned because I went out and I washed bikes. I learned because I was that student and I wanted to get that knowledge. The way I see it now is too many times we are being or utilizing the MC community as a way for us to profit, a way for us to put money in our coffers, a way for us to do things like that. So one of the questions I did have for everybody, and I was just kind of addressing, is like the difference between somebody selling shirts and somebody selling patches and somebody selling merchandise in their page, their MC page. So what is the real price? Because I've heard people talk shit about, oh, well, you throw parties at this, you're charging this, you're doing this. They're talking a lot of shit about throwing parties. They're talking a lot of shit about fish fries. They're talking a lot of shit about all these different factors that you would, I mean, and I'm just saying on the page, that was legitimately how it was. They would talk shit about fish fries. They would talk shit about gatherings. They would talk shit about getting people together and riding or like partying or whatever it was. So how are you talking shit about? And that was one of the questions. It was like oxymoron always, and I even questioned it. Was how can you talk shit about a fish fry? How can you talk shit about a plate sale? How can you talk shit about a party? How can you talk shit about the pro convention if you not only supported it, went to it, but you also are there setting up booths, selling your merchandise and selling material? So how can you, in one case, demean, flame, talk a bunch of shit about the factors, but then turn around and then sell product on your page? So that's where I would address that. What's the separation between the fish fry? What's the separation between a barbecue, a plate sale? What's the separation between going to a social club and hanging out or whatever it is? What's the line? When do we say we gotta stop selling our MC community and our MC culture to the highest bidder? And that's where, when I addressed it, and that's the reason why I came out, was because I looked at it as it was no longer about education, more about profit. And once it got to the point where it was about profit, then ultimately I always had an issue and I always had a problem. It was the reason why I pulled back on that. And I can tell you this, Sal, so you understand and the rest of you guys understand, I've been approached many times on this platform about trying to bring people in to talk about what we're doing right now. And when I talked to Sale was like, this is what I want to do. This is the things I want to do. It wasn't about profit. It was about basically taking in care of equipment, doing stuff like that. Other people, it was about that. It was about selling their shirts. It was about selling their belt buckles. It was about selling their patches. It was about selling their hoodies. And I said, look, man, the way I do it and the way that I present it is I don't see it that way, and I don't profit from it, because ultimately, for me personally, I feel like that's selling your MC soul by basically just profiting off of giving knowledge to people that should be free. Because before this social media, before all the rest of the shit, you had to go find that. You had to go find that. You had to literally go and sit down with OGs and talk to them. You had to spend your money to go talk to them. And now, and I'm going to finish up with this one. Today was a good case of it on the page. I was addressing the spur topic. And when I addressed with the spur topic, I was saying, yo, go in the page. And I wrote two of them, actually two topics on the spur. And it's basically the spur that is worn by some members in motorcycle clubs. And it was like a response was like, well, I want to hear about it. Why can't you just post it here? And I'm sitting there like, I'm trying not to be, flame somewhere, not trying to get on there. But what I looked at, I got you, big.
No, it might have been because I had the sound on in the studio. Okay. So the echo should be gone now, everybody.
But the one thing that I looked at was that's where we've gotten in this MC community. That's where we've went to in this MC community. Sometimes with the social media, is that people are spoon-fed and that's what they expect. It's like, I'll give a shout out to Ted Harris. He came out here, rode out here just to spend a little bit of time soaking up some knowledge with my man Weasel. Got on the road, Weasel rode down here, did a little benefit with us. And that's the way that people used to do business. That's the way business is done. So now it's this point where people aren't doing that. So now if it is a situation where we're utilizing these platforms as the architects of these platforms and I don't even know what to call it, but the people that are out here putting out this information. So now should we all of a sudden sell our information to the highest bidder? Or should we be out here profiting by merchandising or, MC 101 and stuff like that? And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that I looked at and one of the biggest things that I addressed when I did the shirts was not being the person that talks about this, talks about that, but does the exact same thing. And anybody that's bought a shirt or got a shirt from me, they understand specifically what I was trying to accomplish. This right here was bought with the shirts. Simple as that. And I'm going to go live. I'll be live broadcasting. Same thing with my accounts. They'll be able to see firsthand us on the road, traveling on the road. And so it's an opportunity for them to actually get a chance to see it, help out, do a little bit of sponsorship and stuff like that. But in the long run, I'm not paying any bills. I'm not making any profit off of this. Really, to be honest, it's maybe $5 or $6 altogether on profit in terms of being able to make over what I actually had to print done. So the biggest aspect that comes down to it is I just felt like when people heard the concept, they was just like, oh man, you just hating because he's making money. And it's not a concept of hating because somebody's making money. It gets to the point of how far do we go to sell and merchandise the MC community? Think about this, you guys. This community in this world it's beautiful. All you do is get on your bike and ride. It's beautiful. And when do you start tainting it by all of a sudden selling it to the highest bidder? How can you talk shit about Sons of Anarchy? How can you talk shit about anybody that has a vest on their back and they're making money off of it? I mean, talking shit about Chris Brown or talking shit about somebody else. I mean, how can you address that or go through that when you look at it, what's the difference between what you're doing? They said we still echoing.
I'm trying to work on that right now, but I don't see why. But I think we were echoing.
I turned mine down, so.
Well, no, I had the speakers in the studio up. All right, so let me say this, man. Let me come back on screen. I just want y'all to back on screen. Hold on. All right, so let me say this. This for me, the only problem that I had with the Sucka Free MC thing, okay. To me, one of the biggest problems with GUNZ was that we didn't know who was writing what. That was number one. You didn't know who was writing what.
And it was set up like that.
Yeah, and so whenever you got blasted, you didn't know if it was the female or if it was the male. And then the whole premise behind Sucka Free MC was we're 1%ers. Everything we say is what it is God. Boom. Deal with it, you know. That was another thing I didn't like. The other thing is that for me, I'm a rider. I damn near been in every gas station, damn near in every state. So, you know, I'm just saying that to say what to make my point. My point is this: for me, one thing about me, and it's people that challenge me, like, who are you, Sel, to be a commentator? Who are you to be, the set preacher or whatever you want to call it? I've been called all kind of shit, and I tell them, listen, man. The reason why I started this was because I wish I had a big sale when I first started MCing.
Man,
I would have been a better MC member. The MC club that I can say that I let down was Kings of the South. I'm gonna say I let them down based on the fact that when I joined Kings of the South, I was on an individual mission. I was a team player. I thought I was playing team ball. But everything I was doing, it wasn't for personal gain, but I didn't understand that, hey, okay, just because you can do this, that's not what we want to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain. It wasn't a personal vendetta or a personal agenda. I'm saying, y'all, come on. They said, no, we don't want to go that way. But why not? Over here is this and this and that. So I didn't understand that when you first come into a club, you sit your ass down, you be quiet, and you listen and learn. At least for the first 3 or 4 years. That's it. For the first 3 or 4 years, you should be the best member that they ever could be. That is the coldest position in the MC anyway, is a regular member. That's the best position. Fuck all the titles, the president, vice president, fuck all that shit. It's just let me be a regular member. But because I didn't have a big sale, I hit the MC and I came in every direction. I was in every direction. Instead of the one direction that I should have been in was, hold on, player, you just got here. We've been doing this king shit for 4 or 5 years before you. Sit back, relax, learn, and watch how we get down. You understand what I'm saying? I came in with all these new ideas, different this, different that. Let's do this, let's do that. And instead of them saying, hey, nephew, hey, king, hold on, check this out. Slow down. This is not what we want to do. Because you can't technically tell somebody this is not what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to grow this big, or we don't want to, know these people, or we don't want to be, you can't do that. So they just kind of let me run rampant, and I was a damn good member. I was a damn good member for what I thought a member should be. You understand what I'm saying? Hands down. So for me, when Sucker Free MC, and for the rest of us, when you guys would blast somebody, it was the gospel. God came down and rained down on you, and you was a fucked up dude for doing this, and you deserve to be punished. And boom, hell, was it brimstone and hell or whatever the shit is?
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah, fire and brimstone. And that's what Sucker Free MC was. So to now, and this is what I want to say tonight for everybody that's listening, however you listen to it, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. What I'm telling you to do is challenge these people. Challenge me. Challenge Black Dragon. Challenge Demons Row. All these people that you follow in Hollywood. Because this is my thing. The only way this knowledge can be gotten, ladies and gentlemen, is by riding your motorcycle.
Oh.
The OGs are not going to come to you. You have to go to OGs. The history, the stories, they're not going to come to you. You have to go get the history. You have to go hear the stories. You have to go get the protocol. Protocol don't sit around and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Protocol.
Hey, what's up, dog?
That's not what Protocol does.
Well,
Protocol sits in a corner. It sits in a corner in the back of a clubhouse, in the dingy part of it or whatever, somewhere chilling. And then you have to go, you have to go find. Yeah, you have to go find it. And that was my argument with the Sucker Free MC thing and everybody else.
Right.
Like all these people that you guys follow. Who are they?
Here's one, man. Anybody that was on that page will tell you, and they will tell you, Two Guns ain't lying about that. When I used to write, and anytime that I had a comment or I said something to everybody else, anybody on that page, I always followed it up with Two Guns, 1%, anytime, because I wanted them to know if you want to have a conversation about it, all you got to do is present it. And that was where I got, like when they first said, well, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have, everybody's going to be under Sucker Free MC. And I was like, okay, I get what you're trying to say with that. I said, but the problem I have with it is the fact that anybody can respond or make a comment. And people are asking, like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? So now all of a sudden it gets to the point where, like you said, Sucker Free MC became I will be honest with you, by 2015, 16, Sucker Free MC was the be all you can be, hitting motherfuckers up, doing whatever it was, and people was commenting. I mean, we had the biggest growth during that time frame. And it was a lot of, and I got to the point where I said, look, we got to stop flaming and we need to start educating, because it doesn't make sense to just continue flaming people if we're not educating them. It's like beating somebody that doesn't know, something, and you're beating the shit out of them, and they're like, I didn't know, I'm sorry, So why not educate them? I'm in the old school concept, and this is what my grandmother always told me. She was like, the first thing I'm gonna do is tell you what you're not supposed to do. The next thing I'm gonna do is whoop your ass if you do it again. And that was really how I kind of lived my life, was don't beat up people until they understand what they're doing wrong. And then once they understand what they're doing wrong, that's a different story. But, there are some times when you just go, what the fuck? Like there's a picture and the girl was laying on the beach with a cut. I mean, that's like hey, what is you doing? That's the same thing with a cut on her chest. I would say this, and this is the God honest truth. I'll put this out there to anybody out there. The concept of people not wearing their vest on their chest was dramatized, socialized, brutalized, whatever lies that you want to talk about on Sucker Free MC. And it made a change because people stopped doing it and people put people on blast. And they were putting OMCs, 1%ers on blast. And I was just like, oh man, you guys are killing me, man. Like I would come on the page and I would just, because I was working at the time, I come on the page, all of a sudden I'm looking and they got a picture of unknown, absolutely known OMC, respected ties, got a picture from 2009 and, somebody had a vest on backwards. I'm like, dude, you guys got to stop doing this shit, man. And that's where fundamentally we started to separate ourselves because I wasn't a person that was about flaming people. And that's the reason why I put my name up there. Was, yo, this is Two Guns. If you want to talk to me, you can always talk to me. We can always have a conversation. I give you my number. If it's right, it's right. I'm just a man like that, and that's the way I always do business. And I would always challenge anybody. If you feel like it's done wrong or something done wrong, give me a call. We'll talk about this. We'll address this or whatever it is. And first off, what we'll do is we'll pull it down, and we'll take the chat down. We'll take down the post. So it wasn't something that was just continuously right there on the post. But I mean, it is what it is on that, man. The volume.
Oh, my bad, because I cut it down for the echo. This was my thing. I don't think, and I want to say this with as much respect as I can. I don't ever remember Sucka Free MC being about education. It was just always about blasting. And again, and I don't want to just beat up Sucka Free MC. This is not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do
talk about Sturgis.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is, and this is what I'm trying to say. If knowledge is what you seek, just like when you pick your college, when you pick a college that has the academic curriculum that you're looking for, it has everything, the classes and you pick that. You research the professors, you research the school. That's all I'm asking you guys to do with this social media shit. I'm asking you to start doing your research. Who the fuck is Big Sale? Who the fuck, where he come from? What he do? You understand what I'm saying? Well, if you ask anybody Big Sale, they're going to say, well, he ride his motorcycle. He ride the shit out of it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I get the knowledge. That's how I get it from, because I pull up. I pull up to the clubhouse and I find the story or the history in the corner somewhere, because a lot of y'all, and another thing, I'm trying to be nice. Another thing, if you're in the motorcycle set to not respect the history, then you're doing the set a total disservice.
Another question. Because
you have to, the whole hype and the whole excitement about joining the MC is the history. It's the history. When you guys watch Biker Boys and go fucking crazy, y'all watch the other one, Torque, and all that shit y'all be watching, and I'm going to buy a motorcycle. Well, that's cool, but that shit gonna get your head busted, because that ain't what the bike set is all about. You're not gonna come on the set and disrespect the set and jump in somebody's race and set,
Willie.
You're not gonna do none of that at all. But I'm saying this to say this. When you speak about false prophets, and it's just like with anything in life, it's amazing how you guys will challenge me and see me every day on the ground at your event, passing through town, out there on the highway by myself or with everybody else. But then when these other cats come up and pop up, they channels, and this ain't me being mad about nobody, because I'm not mad, but they channels is killing me in numbers. I believe I'm one of the realest cats on YouTube in the motorcycle shit. That's just me. I believe hands down, I am the realest cat on YouTube when it comes to this motorcycle shit. I don't think there's nobody more realer than me. When I say realer, ride more than me, participate, give back, is a part of, do things for the set. My whole life is surrounded around motorcycling. Even the goddamn tow truck company I got is for goddamn motorcycle.
But it's like, the bad part about that, what you're saying is that you're providing that platform, you're providing that element of your life, your love, and everything that you mean. It means that much to you, because this life means that much to you. And then you have people that are profiting off of this life that have done nothing in this life. You've got people that are profiting off of this life that haven't done, not even, we're talking a handful, we're even talking a handful. They haven't even got, they don't even ride. So, just barely been riding maybe a year or 2 years, and they're the ones that's profiting off of this. It's not about a profit margin. What comes down to is when you have somebody that is giving it because they love it, you should embrace that versus awarding people that don't have the love for it and the people that don't have the time, respect, and all of a sudden, just because that message is something you want to hear, or just because that person can say this or say that or do this or do that, you put them on a pedestal and try to knock the person that's actually trying to accomplish something down.
Yeah, and that was always a thing for me, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it be MC 101, whether it be FHO Podcast Radio, whether it be Sucka Free MC, whether it be whoever, man, make sure that before, don't just go for the glitz and the glam. Please. Make sure that the knowledge that they're preaching is correct, fact check it, and then do the research. Like I tell everybody, do the research. I mean, look at it for what it's worth. For me, I get phone calls if you was to spend a day with me, you'd be like, so let me show you. I got 3 phones. I got 3 goddamn cell phones. 3 goddamn cell phones.
You ain't like 2 chains, right? You like 3 chains now? You got 3
I'm like 3 chains, goddamn it. I got 3 cell phones, and these motherfuckers ring all day, every day. I take calls from people asking me some of the silliest questions to calls I get with some of the way more serious questions. I get calls from everybody. And I do this not because you guys send me a whole bunch of money or because I don't want y'all, because everybody think y'all send me $1 million a day. I do this because I love it. There's times where my wife be like, hey, turn the goddamn phone off.
Man, what are you talking about?
Turn the goddamn phone off, period. You feel what I'm saying?
They don't get it. They don't get it, man.
And for me, I'm saying, baby, okay, well, just, let me take this call. This dude had a question, and I don't want him to ruin it. You know,
like 4 calls later, and you're like, oh shit. You looking at
but all I'm saying is this. I'm saying all this to say this, man. I love you guys, hands down, and I'm proud to see where we are now. We still got a long way to go. And GUNZ, I appreciate you for coming on here. You know, finally getting that stuff off your chest and being able to breathe about it.
Yes,
but more importantly, let's look at the
somebody had a good post up, and they was asking about the listening or the partying. And there's another post that talks about swap meets and things like that. And everything that you see now in this MC community, and I'm gonna just say this straight up, it's gotten out of hand because it's become so commercialized that all you have to talk about is Black Bike Week. You're talking about legitimately $1 million, close to $1 billion industry that is commercialized. It is making money that is not going to the right people. And when it happens, everybody and their mama will go straight down there to Black Bike Week, party, spend their money, get mistreated, shit on, and then turn around, be pissed off about it, mad about it, start talking about it, and then next thing you know, next year, they still doing the same thing. That's pretty funny. Blackjack talking about.
No. Like I didn't say don't challenge you. I said what I'm saying is, what I'm telling them to do is this. Let me clear it up for a moment.
No, and he know. I mean, he just messing with you, man. He messing with you. The whole concept that comes down to it is what Sale's saying and what I say. I've said this, and I even said it last week. Is you have to be careful with the people that you're taking information from, knowledge from, stuff like that. You really have to say, who is this person for me to gain knowledge? I'm going to tell you, man, even as a little kid, I would go wash bikes. I would just, go talk to people. I knew who knew some shit and who didn't know some shit, because as soon as they start talking, now understand that the reason why I knew it was because I spoke to people that knew shit. So when somebody new came about and they didn't know nothing, I didn't need to talk about them because half the time I knew more than them. I got a brother, I swear, man, his name's Whisper. This motherfucker got so much fucking knowledge, it's ridiculous. One of these days, he will be a storyteller. He will be one of the guys that he's out there and he's putting information out because he takes in so much knowledge. He listens to the Black Dragon. He listens to Demons Row. He listens to us. He listens to me. He listens to you. He's on all platforms gaining knowledge. And that's the way it should be. And that's the way that people should be doing. You can't take what I say, what Big Sale says, what Black Dragon says, and all of a sudden it's gospel. And that's what it shouldn't be. It should never be that way. You should always absorb the information, take the information, get the information, check the information. I challenge anybody, and I've said this several times. They tell me MC's a man club. Okay. So show me where MC is still a man club.
That part.
And we can have a conversation about it. Because I've done the research, and the research shows me that MC in 1903 was established as motorcycle club. So until you can come with some information and knowledge that refutes that, then we don't have nothing to talk about. So that's what I address. And those are the times that I challenge people like, yo, show me it. Hey, give it to me. If you got some knowledge that I don't have, I'm ready to suck that knowledge up. Look, getting calls.
but that should be, but what I'm saying is, for me now, MCing, let me tell y'all something. And this is true facts. When I ride out of town now, I get on my bike and ride from here. Like even we leave for Sturgis Monday. Do you think I give a fuck about the rally? Do you really think I give a fuck about the rally? Dude, once we do this ride, because that's where all the fun gonna be, on the ride, at the gas stations, the whole 9 yards. That's where the fun gonna be. Hold on, Miss Showtime. You want to be on the show, right? You want to be on the show?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on 1 second. So, when we take this ride, if I make it to the rally, so the fuck, it is what it is. I could care less about the rally. I could care less about the event. I could care less about the part. I'm going for the ride and to see my friends and to see people that I haven't seen in a while. And just to be there. So for me, and at this point, for all of us, motorcyclists should be about the spirit of the riding. I love, you know why I go West Coast? You know why I go to East Bay Dragons? You know why I go down to the West? Because I love hearing the stories. I love running the Hero and Boss Mike and looking at the pictures on the wall and saying, damn, how the fuck did y'all, you telling me you rode this motorcycle to Texas? You telling me you rode this motorcycle? Because they've been riding. Social media just made it seem all of a sudden that riding was brand new, but they've been riding their motorcycles. But all of a sudden social media, and now here it is, oh, we the baddest. No. Trust me. The shit we're riding on today compared to the shit that they were riding on is two different things. Call us, state your name, where you calling from.
Los Angeles, California.
What's going on, Miss Lady? Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me give a round of applause for this lady right here. Hold on, y'all.
Oh my God.
This is Miss Showtime, ladies and gentlemen, one of the legends. And let me tell y'all something, man. Ladies and gentlemen, true sweetheart, true down to earth, and just a so real person. And to be in this game as long as she's been in this motorcycle game and still love it is amazing, because y'all make me want to, say fuck y'all every day around this moment. But go ahead, Miss Showtime.
Okay, I just wanted to say what you guys are talking about is kind of, to me, small potatoes. Swap meat, selling patches. I got a patch I sell, and but it costs money to get that patch made, and it takes money to make money. The events I get, I never get back what I put in it. And I put money in it out of my pocket, and I lose, But I'm not, but all that is small potatoes. My patches are small potatoes, what I gave is small potatoes. The biggest thing that happened to the set as far as finances of when the Roundup got sold to Harley Davidson, the white man. You guys talking about patches, shirts, Sucka Free MC, events, and you got paid to get in the event and all this and that. The biggest thing that was, it was theft. The white man always take everything. We got over here because our own people were killing us. So it was always called the black. It's been so long, I don't forgot what it was called, but it had black in it. The black,
the Black National Bikers Roundup.
Roundup.
I don't even know if national. It was. I don't even know if it's national then, but it was the black. And anyway, and Harley Davidson was not involved in it. The police department was not involved in it. We would get land and put tents up and stuff and do our thing. It was like our own little cities, you know.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, and I'm not gonna name no names, but the certain people that's over the roundup. I think the first time I went and they changed, they took the black out of it, and Harley Davidson was there. I think it was, oh God, I think it would happen in Atlanta. I think it was. I can't remember what, you know, it's been something. But Harley Davidson and those booths were all black people. They were all black. Everything was black. Everything. The white person didn't have nothing. The only thing the white person might have had to do with it, they paid the people for the land, but it was all black. And next thing we knew, Harley Davidson had a booth. Come in, ride, take a joyride, and see if you want to buy them, you know. And they gave this person about 4 floors at the Marriott Street. Reason why I know. Trust me on that. I ain't calling no names, but that was the biggest thing that we had that was sold, and people been making money off of it every cent. And then they tried to get something started in Mississippi to get our own roundup back, but it didn't work. But that roundup was ours. That one, and no problem if a person invests money into something. I mean, that's how people build gas stations and all kind of stuff. You know, it takes money to make money, and if you invest your money, you want to try to at least break even. You know. So I don't have no problem with that.
I don't think what GUNZ said was that the money that's being made off the patches is the problem. What he's saying is that when a person doesn't care about or doesn't have any invested interest in the motorcycle set, but to create a patch to make money, that was the problem with what this whole thing came about, is that you got people that are exploiting the set but don't care anything about the set. Your patch represents the set because you've been on the set and you found and you saw that on this set we have nothing to represent us. So by me being on the set and by me seeing this, let me create a patch, and that's what your patch represents. So we have no problem with Miss Showtime charging $10 for her patch, and we gladly pay it because, again, what the patch stands for. The patch stands for your knowledge, your history, and your dedication that you've given to the set. I mean, it stands for more than that, but the reason why you're able to do the patch. Same thing. Let me.
The patch isn't about me.
I understand.
The patch isn't about me.
I got that.
It's our logo. Everything has a logo. Toothpick has a logo. Everything has a logo, but the black set don't have no logo. Well, not even black bikers. That's what it is.
But let me say this, Michelle. What I'm saying is that, but you're able to present that patch and sell it because guess what? You were on the black bike set. You were a part of the black bike set.
It's not even that. It's like Miss Showtime. Yeah. Miss Showtime, so you understand, you've earned that. Okay, you've earned that. So if you come out and say, I want to show this and I want to represent this for us in terms of that, it's like you said, this wasn't about you making money. This was just about you presenting something to the black bike set that says this is us. I respect that 1,000,000 times, and I support that 1,000,000 times. It's when it becomes a profit that you're paying your house notes and you're paying your car notes and you're buying stuff.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that's
what happened to our roundup.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying about roundup because I actually saw some of that, and it changed dramatically because I went to the Rockingham roundup and I was just kind of like, wow, the roundup's really changed because the last time I went to the roundup, I think it was probably when I first got in here, 2006 or something like that, or maybe it was 2009 around there. But everything. There was ways for that, and then the white man
told us black folks that if you had a booth, if you wanted to take a picture and have a booth with your backdrop in the back, you could not have the National Roundup name on it. You couldn't have, paint like a biker and then have a national, I mean, just took over. We just gave. Well, this person that was over the Roundup got paid a lot of money from Harley Davidson and some other white businesses, and they literally took over our Roundup. I'm telling you, it was always called
Carolina Night Riders.
I can't even remember.
Carolina Night Riders. Carolina Night Riders established something so beautiful for blacks because there was no place that they could actually go to in terms of beaches. They established something. They established this, this concept, and Harley Davidson and the city of Myrtle Beach came in and took it from them. And it's just
no, they did.
Huh?
No, because I know the guy personally. That's why I'm not gonna name his name. I know what's been done. It was sold. I'm telling you. And if I could let you know the year, because when this happened, everybody that was on the bike fit then knows exactly what I'm talking about, because it was all of a sudden Harley Davidson was there. Harley Davidson was not at none of the roundups. No white people was at none of the roundups. Period. We'd be out there in the woods someplace. Because
that's how
it was. It was no policemen. It was no policemen escorting traffic control and all that. It was none of that. Absolutely. And then all of a sudden, Harley Davidson popped up and had a booth. That's when it started.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate the call, Miss Showtime.
Okay. Carry on, you guys.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna just drop it like this.
This Showtime white man.
Yeah.
Love all the white viewers, man. That's how.
What she's saying is the masses. I wouldn't say the white man, but the masses. But it is what it is. All I'm gonna say is this: at the end of the day, it's not preacher's fault. It's not any false prophet's fault. It's our fault.
Yeah.
For allowing somebody to come onto our stage, come into our city, our town, come into our world, and claim to be something that they're not. We don't verify it. We don't verify it. We don't fact check it, and we don't see these individuals. That's the problem that I got with all of it. Somebody
said that to me, and I said, you know what? I agree with you 100% on that. I agree with you 100% in terms of how can, he was like, how can you blame him? It's not him that's doing it. I mean, he's just providing a service. So if people are stupid enough to accept that service, then, I said, I feel you. I said, but understand how I am, the person that I was raised as. I would never profit off of something that I love to do for free. That's just me, and it always will be so.
And that's all it was, man. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Listen, I love it. I love you guys. I appreciate it, hands down. I agree. I appreciate everybody that give the donations, because I promise you, my man, Big Homie 8900, appreciate that. Your donations, trust and believe, help further the message. It helps bring this show with Two Guns and me together, and it helps do the knowledge and the research. Two Guns, let's talk about your shirts real quick. And explain. Do you have any? You shouldn't even have any left. Do you have any left?
I got a few 2X and 3Xs. I'll be on the road with them. I mean,
did you send me mine yet? Did you send me mine? Because if I don't get my shirt, it's
I'm coming through.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
We're coming to Atlanta. I told you we're coming to Atlanta.
Yeah. So listen, Two Guns has created this shirt. He's getting ready to get on the road, and he is going to put together a journey. Okay, and he's going to share it with us. So the purpose of him creating these shirts was to ask for donations for the shirts or whatever, so that he can buy the GoPro he needed and to make sure that he had enough to make the trip and to be on the road to get his bike serviced the whole 9 yards. Now, at the end of the day, you have to understand what he's given of himself, and what you're getting for the price of a shirt. And that's what I want you guys to understand is that, again, you got somebody that's coming to you live on stage, presenting him himself, his goods and bads and his ugly, and he's going to allow you to be right there to see him. Not only that, this shit costs.
Yeah, and that's one of the aspects too. Like somebody was saying that, you know, some of this stuff does cost and this and that. I agree 100%. It does cost in order for you to be able to provide a service to somebody, you know, and so I look at it and say, I see it at two sides. Is yeah, absolutely 100% cost. But I'll reach out to Ted Harris and say, how much did it cost Ted Harris to come down here and break bread? You know, I mean, it cost him some tanks of gas, stuff like that. He came down, had a conversation with me, we chopped it up and stuff like that. See, like, people don't know, you can't learn how to fold socks to pack unless you come and talk to somebody that actually knows how to pack and get on a bike and travel long distances. And that's where you're able to actually come in and have a conversation and sit down with people. And it's so valuable to be able to gain that knowledge, because you don't get that knowledge by just getting on social media. There's so much information that we have as riders and people that's on the road that we don't really talk about, because it's road shit. That's just road shit. I can't talk about road shit unless you're on the road with me. So, and that's just how it is. Hey, big homie, whatever it is, I'm coming to Houston. So I'll be through Houston on the way back through. I got family in Houston. So just reach out on the page, MC101 Tradition and Protocol. And I'm the moderator. So if you join the page, MC101 Tradition and Protocol, I'm the moderator on there. So just throw a message out or whatever it is, and I'll link up with you, because I'm trying to catch up with as many people as I can out there. Be nice to try to, you know, sit down and have a conversation with some folks or whatever it is while I'm on the road. And, you know, I mean, that's how I try to do things. You know, I ain't gonna tell you where I'm moving, but I'm moving. So if I'm in your town or whatever it is, just reach out, man. And I'll stop off, even if it's at a rest area, man, come through and fuck with me. So that's all it is.
All right, so that's what it is, y'all. So, again, a false prophet can't be false if you don't have an audience to listen to. You can't, you know, if we're not listening, then we're, you know, it just is what it is. But for me and mine, I love you guys. From Two Guns, you be safe out there on the road. Yeah, everybody that's traveling. Hey, let me
search, man. If you want to try to, you know, right now, man, I've already kind of got everything situated. So if you want to just throw a donation or whatever it is, man, we'll toss out some shirts or whatever it is. I ain't even tripping, because when I come down the road or whatever it is, I see people. You know, everybody's blessed me enough to be able to get on the road and do what I need to do. You might not get access to the page, but you might catch a shirt or whatever it is. So ain't nothing but love out there, man. You guys reach out to me, MC101 Tradition and Protocol on the page. You know, definitely want to try to reach as many people as I can, get out there.
So Stevenson Ruck said, hey, Big Cell, can you shout out to Los Gypsy Nations, T.O., please? Now, Stevenson Ruck, why would I shout out to Los Gypsy Nations? The Los Gypsy Nations all the way in Canada, them is my boys. You feel what I'm saying? They do their thing. So I don't have to shout out to Los Gypsy Nations. The Los Gypsy Nation is what they are, the Los Gypsy Nation. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. Again, another beautiful night. Lot of stuff is happening. A lot of stuff is going on. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask.
Yeah.
Helmet off, mask on.
We're going to be on the page on the FHO, and we'll be on the page answering questions too, man. So if y'all got questions up there, just throw them up on the page, or MC101 Tradition and Protocol for sure.
Yeah, or like I said, the YouTube. It was a few on the YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On the YouTube channel.
There it is there, man. So love y'all. Love, peace, and hair grease, man. It is what it is, man.
You're listening to MC101 Talk Show. Live.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
Hosted by Two Guns. Co-hosted by Big Cell. And we talking straight motorcycle protocol. Tune in every Wednesday around 7 p.m. for pure motherfucking facts on FHO Podcast Radio. MC 101, where motorcycling is life.
The Chosen.
Yo, testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Downtown, I got that heat, let's go.
Greg Street in the building. I'm riding with my homie Big Cell. FHO Radio, the podcast with the FHO NIC. Big Cell, Lil Debo, aka the Brown Eminem. Coast to coast. On the mics. Fast Harleys only. Get with it.